Well, I'm at a dump today. The dump I found a while back, and I'm digging a ditch to see if I can get to the bottom, see how deep this place really is. Hard telling. A lot of trash around here. My first bottle is a blue one. I found a few Cokes broken, but you can see this is rough. A lot of stones and crap like that. So let me keep soldiering on, see if I can get through here and come up with something. And when I do, you're going to see it. Talk to you later. Here's my first nice surface find. A little blue perfume bottle. It's just laying on the top here. Trying to find something whole. I dig, but when you get down to about the 2-foot level, it just turns out to be gravel and building and burned. It's really not a conducive dump for that. But so I'll stay for now on the surface. There's another little perfume, and just scrape along here and see what I find. So when I find something significant, I will show you. When I mentioned I find a lot of skulls, there's a dog right there. I found a raccoon down there on the other side. I mean it. There's a lot of skulls and dead animals in the woods. Deer especially. So, yep. Same old, same old. Keep on going. Well, some varmint, as you can see, they dig. And he dug up some stuff. This is a 7-Up from the 50s. And here's a Cascade from the 40s. So somewhere around here, there's some more sodas. I'm going to look around again and see what I can find. So far, that's what I got. Well, I found my first whole bracer. I'm not too excited about the fact that I found it because they're common around here. And there's a syringe right there. So I'm going to keep going. I'll show you more when I find it. Okay. Here we go. This might have made the whole trip. This little pharmacy. It has the, I can't read it because it's so small. But if you can see it, it's just cool. It's real old. 1890s for sure. So my first real excellent bottle right down here in this root system. Maybe I might find more. There you go. Here we are. Well, just scraped up a Chericola from Columbus, Georgia. Common one, but it's good that I found it because they're all around in here. It is hard. I mean, I complain about that because right below the surface here, if you go down 2 feet, you hit brick. You hit burned slag. I don't know what that is, but it's hard digging and there's nothing in it. So everything you see is in the first 2 feet up here. And see where I dug over there? And well, that's all I can say. Let's keep going then. Now here's another fig girl that you'll see once in a while. A Suncrest or Suncrest Bear, I think. It's another soda company out of New England. Put a made a bank. They and Great Bet, they were another soda company that did the same thing. So good find right there. The Suncrest Bear. This would have been real cool if it was in one piece. It's a little school bus I never seen one like this before. I don't know if it's a greyhound or whatever. Looks like it's the back of it. No, it's the front. Anyway, too bad. Nice find. We'll keep going. Okay, let's start to follow up on my dig the other day at the dump I discovered not too long ago. It was new to me, and it still is in some ways. I'm still finding new stuff in here. And this is pretty much what I came up with the other day. There's a lot of cool stuff laying on the surface, but I found by digging that most of the bottles and trash is on the first 2 feet. As you go down to the 3rd and 4th level of this dump, you'll find that there's some broken glass, but most of it is a result of an incinerator, from my knowledge of incinerating dumps that had that in there. And there's a lot of slag, a lot of broken pieces of glass, a lot of, rusted hunks of metal. And when you find that, and bricks, and when you find all that stuff, that's for sure a sign that your dump had an incinerator as its source. So during the 40s or 30s, that's what they did. And the bottles and stuff that survived either were thrown there before the incinerator was in use, or they just didn't burn, or were left on the top. So it's a mystery. But let's get beyond all that and talk about the bottles themselves. I was successful with the sodas, as I am, and we're going to run through them as quick as I can. The first ones are the Cokes, of course. They're all local of that area. Now, I'm digging not too far from towns like Fairfax, Estelle, Allendale, and Allendale being the largest town in the area. They would have had a more active bottler, and a lot of times that is what's going to happen when you find bottles. So even far from the town, you will find that the bottler had a large distribution. And this bottle is a Coke. It's a D-Pat, and the only reason I picked it up, well, this is a 44. This one here is about 8 years later. It's a 1950. It's the only reason I picked it up is that's the year I was born, so it's sort of nostalgic that the fact that I have a bottle that I was when I was born, and it makes it 72 years old, and this is a 78-year-old bottle, so it's pretty old when you look at it in that context. So there are the Cokes right there. Another relatively local to the area, another town, Allendale, again. This is a Frosty, and again, this bottle is not very special because it was a national or regional brand, and again, I found several of those. Now, Cascade Ginger Ale is interesting. What I found out about it was if this is it, if I was up the right track or not, up the right trail here. Cascade was a Australian, came out of a Cascade Brewing out of Australia in, well, it started way back in 1886, they said, the brewery, but this came out around the 1920s. So this bottle, I see a date. I don't see any date on it, but I would assume that this is a late 1920s bottle. I have found them in 20s dumps, and they're always the same. They're not much to look at, but Of course, the 10, 2, and 4. Uh, this is a Savannah, Georgia, and I just picked it up because I do. I like them. This is an interesting Chericola. This is a 1920s, I say 23, 24. This is after Chericola lost a fight with Coca-Cola to use Chericola, to use the word cola in their label. They had to go to Cheerio, and that sort of put the kibosh on uh, uh, Cheerio, Chericola, uh, and but they were good. They were resilient. This company um, is the mother of Royal Crown. That's still going on. Knee High was also one of their brands, and so they just bounced back with different cola. But this is a very heavy bottle, and a it does have a copyright date of, if I can look at it, you can see it. I think it's 1924. But the thing about it is, by 1923, they weren't allowed to use cola, so that's why they went to the O. And this bottle probably dates back to the late 30s. They were pretty much dropped by Knee High by this time, by the time this bottle came out. So they didn't use this bottle very much. This is not a common bottle, although it's newer than the original Aqua script bottles. Here's another 7-Up. Now, I've showed this bottle here, and a lot of times they'll have the 7-Up on the bottom, the older version. This had a pyro glaze, and remember we talk about ghost images of pyros or ACLs. Well, you can pretty much see it here if you can. And this had a nice ACL on it, and I can even read it a little bit. If I really try hard, it's still on there to some extent. You got to keep moving it around. But this had a pyro, so just to show you the difference in certain. Now there's paper labeled versions of this also. Staying with the beverages, we'll finish it off with the beverage sip part of this with the Snowcrest bottling from Massachusetts. Now, Snowcrest started by a guy by Berkowitz or Leibowitz in 1880s selling Snowcrest, and then it became Polar. Polar. He made a mistake of making this Polar beverages, and he bottled different flavors, but he made a big mistake when he made Polar Cola. Now, Polar Cola did ruffled somebody's feathers, namely Coca-Cola, and this company was one of the many beverage companies that were sued by Coke because using the word cola. They had decided that they patented that word cola, although it was a word that people use to describe a fruit, cola nut, and but they patented it, and so anybody who used cola in their description got sued. These guys all the way up until 1947 got sued by Polar Cola, and and Suncrest was the corporation that did this. Now this bottle comes out of the 1940s, so whether or not this little bear was involved in the Polar Cola argument, I don't know, but I think it probably had a fruit drink in it, and it was used as a bank also, like our friends there, Great Bet with the clown last week or last time. I think I showed you that. Maybe not. I'm a little, my videos are lagging behind. I have a whole bunch in the can still to show, so you'll see at at one point you'll see that I found Great Bet, uh, a Great Bet bank bottle. So this is the same thing pretty much, but I think this bottle looks like it's a 41. So it makes sense that it would have that date on it. And this was a beverage, Salem, Mass. This company came out of. Now the other ones, the other bottles aren't that great, but they have a little bit of a history. Here's a blue bottle, beautiful bottle. You probably think, oh, probably a medicine, right? You would be wrong. This is liquid glaze, and it was put out by Ford Car Corporation, and it was a touch-up paint. And that's what this was. And this one was, and I'm pretty sure this is the same one, just a little later. Hazel Atlas is a company that made this one, and I really don't know who made this one, but Hazel Atlas definitely made this one. But they would have been holding a paint, liquid glaze, and it would be touched up for Ford cars. And these are definitely 1940s. This little bottle here I don't have the right cap on it. It's a bottle called Mistol, and it was a nose spray. It was for congestion and for allergies, and it's also from the 1940s. A little Mistol bottle. This is just a little perfume bottle. I just picked it up because it had a hexagon shape to it. It was pretty cool. Now this one here, these things I like to find, and there's different. There's Magnolia cream, but this, don't get Magnolia cream mixed up with Magnolia cream. This here was a fade cream, and I found an advert for this in a black magazine. This is a fade cream, and it was used to lighten your skin. Now, you use it on, age spots like that, but apparently it would do a good job of fading, lightening your skin. So for some black people, this was preferred, so they would use this stuff, but not necessarily used just for black people, but anybody would use this for fading cream to get away blemishes, and it was a skin cream. But interesting to find. Last time I found, not too long ago, and you'll see this in a video, of another kind of fade cream used to lighten skin, and you'll find them a lot. So pretty much there it is, my sojourn out in the dump. I'll be digging, hopefully in another couple days. I'm going to go out in the woods and try to find a dump to a homestead that I've been checking out in the area, and hopefully I'll get lucky and find something different. Although, this stuff isn't that bad. I'm happy to find it. This bottle is a good one. This one is a really nice one. The Coke bottles are fun to find, the 7-Up. And, to find history on liquid glaze. I had no idea I thought it was furniture polish. So I learned a little bit about that. So there you have it. Talk to you all later. Have a great day. Remember to hit that bell. Have a great day. Thank you very much.